Nigeria, how are you doing today? It's a beautiful day. It's the third day in the month of love, February 2025, and we are back on Dear Men. We're talking about men's issues. We're talking about the things that make us tick. We're talking about the things that sometimes scare us. We're talking about the things we wish we knew better about. Well, this is Dear Men reaching you live on Super FM 92.7, and I am not alone on the show today. I am doing this with my brothers, with the men. I've got DJ Ryder in the building. DJ Ryder, what's good, man?
Yeah, I'm good. Good morning.
People need to know that DJ Ryder is part of the DMN team.
Yes.
They need to know.
When it's four men, this is not three men.
It's four men now, eh? Okay, four man in the site. Okay, my dry joke entered this morning, and of course, I've got with me the very intriguing, the very scintillating, the very well-spoken Yakubu Harrison. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm wonderful. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful week.
You see, when rich men talk, bass they did their voice. Now those of us who never really blew, they talk with soprano.
I wanted to say something, but I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it,
I'll
please.
say it towards the end of the program.
And of course, I've got the very, very accounting and accountantly accounting man. This man is an accountant. This man is wearing kente today. If you're watching our live stream or on YouTube at Super FM Lagos, you see how gately dressed this man is. Good morning, Femi. How you doing?
Good morning, OSYB. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, oh. I'm doing very, very well. Thanks for asking and thanks for looking out for the brother. Now, it is their man. The mother confessor has given us holiday. She will resume next week. But this week, it's a conversation that is starting because someone asked me why I left a particular thrift group. And really, it's a conversation around saving. It's a conversation around saving. You know, there's this thing that people say, you're supposed to, when you get your 100% income, you're supposed to save 30%. Then, you take 50%, you bring it out. Then you take the other 50%, you save 30. Then you save 120, then you take another 20 and put it to one place. At the end of the day, you're supposed to save about 70% of your income, paying yourself first, before you now, did you write that? You did listen?
For your expenditure.
Before you now focus on expenditure. But I want to ask a question. I want to ask this question. Men, let's be sincere. Is it easy? Is it a workable thing? Is it a doable thing that we can save that 70% and use the 30% to manage our families? For those of us that have families, to manage our families and then use the other one to save for the rainy day and all the other things that we must do. Let's remember that there's the fees. In fact, let's take it like this. I'm going to ask that question. Is it easy to save 70% of your income? I'm going to start with Harrison this morning.
70% of my income. I don't know how easy it is. Should I see what I
What percentage of your income do you save?
around 30%, and that's because basically how I'm able to do that is by setting up systems around me that ensures that I do that every single month. So the system does not care if I'm hungry or not. They just tell me you must save 30%.
Or they tell you.
And they take it off from me.
Wow. Is it like an automated thing that you do from your bank account, or is people
from my
around
bank
you?
account.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So the moment salary enters,
30%
30%
is
gone.
Yeah, because I belong to this group of guys where we have to do all those things. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk.
I just give my 1 cent.
So let's say that you're a bachelor, yeah. We can we can say that.
Well,
You have
it's not about being a bachelor. I think that's to do with discipline.
discipline.
Yeah, like I said, in order for me to be able to do it, I had to set up a system around me.
Okay.
Because I know it's not easy. But is it doable? Yes. But is it easy? I'm not sure. Right,
Okay,
so I had to set up a
doable.
system.
Yes,
Yeah.
easy,
Not sure.
not quite sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the bachelor. That's the bachelor here. No disrespect to you when I say bachelor, my brother.
OSYB.
My guy, you go marry.
OSYB.
When the time comes,
No,
you will.
I feel bad because I've been getting these hits since this morning.
It's coming on board very soon.
Now I feel
How many
really
people
bad.
have said this to you
I
today?
can't. No, I can't even count now.
Don't
To the
worry.
extent they were even actually matchmaking me. I had to start, drifting away from the
No
conversation.
wahala. It's the Lord has heard your prayers. It will happen soon. You will be a Mr. to a Mrs. very soon.
Amen.
Now let's get to it. Let's talk to Femi. Femi, you're married. You've got kids. and you've got lots of he's got bills as well, a lot of them. I think even sometimes some single people even do more bills than married people,
Yeah,
but
for
then
real.
it happens sometimes. But then let's listen to you. 70% of your income, is that a possibility?
Okay, so financial discipline is not an easy task, right? But it's doable. That's one thing we must know. It's not easy, but it's something that we can achieve. We have to, put it at the back of our minds that you cannot spend all that you earn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're Yorubas would say you cannot eat with your 10 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to keep some, and so for the rainy days. Because, a lot of things can come up, especially for a married man. There are some unforeseen circumstances and unforeseen expenses that might come up during the month or in the course of the year and all that. So you have to have a backing. All right. So like Harrison said, 70% for me, I don't think is doable because, you have a lot of things to cater for.
Yeah.
But 20, 30, when you're very financially disciplined, put it in an account where you would not touch.
Yeah.
No matter the circumstances, you have a separate account somewhere that it will be pretty difficult for you to access at any point in time. In fact, I would recommend that you put it in an account where you don't even have the ATM.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Yeah.
That's what you should
Yeah, so you don't have any access to it. In fact, you can give an order to your, what's it called?
To a financial organization.
Financial organization to say, look, on no account should you
do. Money be moved from this account. Yeah.
All right. So except if you have emergencies. Except if you have emergencies.
Okay, so you are going with Harris 30%.
20, 30.
30%.
It depends on the situation and the circumstance. And it depends on your responsibilities.
Yeah.
The things you have to cater for. So for Harrison, 30 is doable. But for some other people, 20 might just be like you have a lot of expenses, school fees, food, what's it called? You have to fuel your car during the month, transportation and all that, bills, electricity bills and all that. So if you could do 20, 30, if possible, it's fine.
Okay, so there's someone amongst us here who is like a seasonal earner. Let's put it that way, because DJs don't do salaries.
It also depends on how much you're earning, though.
Yeah.
Your
Okay, so
income.
we'll get to that. How much you're earning? Let's go around this table and ask what the possibilities are. Because now that people are talking, I feel like a less privileged person, because people are talking 30%. But then let's hear DJ Ryder. What percentage of your income or
like you said, my percentage doesn't base on what I earn, but to me, I believe it's doable. It's something I can achieve. Me personally,
you can achieve now based on who you be?
Yes. So it's what I can achieve to me.
30%. No, we said 70%. Sorry,
You said 70. Yes,
you can achieve a 70% savings.
I can.
So
I can.
wait,
It's
okay.
possible.
I think you need to give us
The formula.
master class. We need to listen to you, because if you can save 70% of your income and you have so much that you need to do, I think you need to train us. So we need to come and sit down and say, DJ Ryder, how do you do it? Is it the multiple streams of income? Is it the fact that you earn so much? Because that was what brings us to your next line of conversation.
There's a place that I worked before that, sometimes I don't remember of me getting salary. I won't even remember. It's maybe after the next month. I'll be like, I've never taken my salary for the next month. It's because of multiple
Sources of income.
Streams of income, yeah.
So
I don't believe in me. I believe in sometimes that one I just put it somewhere. And I maintain the one that I have. Then I hope and I pray more comes in. You know what I do. So
Yeah.
that multiple of jobs comes in, and from there, put it together. With that, I believe, me personally, I don't know any other, but me, I can achieve.
okay, so let's look at it holistically. 70% is doable for one person at this table. DJ Ryder, he's a DJ. Me, I'm a presenter. You're a data analyst, data scientist and data analyst, and you own your own business. And then there is this man here who is an accountant who says 20%. And you know that there's this myth that accountants are the most prudent people on the planet.
They know how to manage money.
Is it a myth or it's actual fact that you guys are very stringent with spending and everything?
Well, it's something you have to also you are taught in school 1st. I mean, but you also have to learn it personally.
So you're stringent.
Because of course you're managing other people's
Money.
Yeah. So you have to be able to tell them how they should spend it to get real value for what.
Okay, so
That's part of their KPI.
So KPI, managing the money to see that the company doesn't waste its resources.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about this actively. So 70%, someone says is doable because he has multiple streams of income. Basically, let's talk about how comfortable do you think a person needs to earn? He lives in Abule Egba scenario. He lives in Abule Egba, Ikorodu, and he works in VI. And how much do you think that person would be earning for them to even come close to a 30% in savings?
So, there are different. It won't apply to everybody. See, the thing is, no matter the amount of money you earn, your spending habit also will determine how much you're able to spend. Yeah, so some people can earn as much as 500,000 in a month, and then by the end of the month, they can't even account for 50,000 naira in their bank account. So, so it depends on your spending habit. So there are a lot of factors.
Femi is making personal attacks. I'm not saying that's how much I'm earning, but you're attacking me personally. Why?
No, you can't be any 500.
So many things.
I don't know. It's you that don't know that one, what you're earning. No? Because what if I'm earning more or less, and then you people are now, no, it's not fair now. Femi, it's not supposed to be me, and you're supposed to be taking jabs at me.
Conversation.
You started it.
I'm going with you.
Okay, so
sorry I distracted you there.
No problem. So 500,000 naira, and then at the end of the month,
no account.
You can't even, say you have 20 or 50,000 naira left in your account. So it depends on so many factors, like I've told you. It depends on, how many people you have to cater for. Right. So where are you living? Some people are earning as little as 200,000 naira, and yet they want to live on the island. They want to live in Lekki. They want to. All right. So
because of proximity to their office.
Okay. So if proximity to the office, you also have to consider your earning capability. All right. So how do you pay your rent? So at the end of the year, you are running helter-skelter looking for money to pay your rent. So if you already know how much you're earning, then you should actually
cut your clothes
according to your
suit according to your clothes,
according to your material self.
Yeah. That's what we should do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that being heard, and while I was having this conversation with the person that prompted me to want to talk about finances for men, because men go through a lot. Men, we get to pay the bills. It's like it is our major reason for being men. I'm sorry to just chalk it up to that, but then a man who cannot pay his bills, whether for his family or just for himself, really, you are an endangered species.
Yeah.
People would talk to you. Every message in church, just the way Femi was talking right now, and I was feeling bad. Every message in church is directed at you. Every wasi in the mosque.
Bible now.
It's in Bible.
A man that cannot
the Bible says
is worse than an infidel, so there's so much pressure on men folk. And this man that I was talking to last week said he knows people who earn 40,000-50,000 naira in Lagos, and they are building houses.
Sure.
40,000-50,000.
Yes,
I agree.
So
you know them.
Yes.
Oh wow. I need to meet
so
them.
and this other person, and this other person that I was talking to as well, at least I know 3 people in that class who they've not earned up to 100,000 naira, and they are building houses. They bought land and they built house.
So where did you get it from?
So how did they do it? Because really, for a lot of us, I think as men, we've come to a place where we think we have the most problems. I was talking to a couple of my friends at the weekend. They were asking me, OSYB, we need to do this, we need to... I was like, guys, my budget cannot accommodate all these things that you people are asking for in the place of this, that. And they were like, guys, not only you get problem. All of us, they go through a lot. But the truth is, when we need to make certain things happen for the sake of this and that, we need to do it. And then it got me thinking that how are people who are earning between 50 and 100,000 naira, how are they building houses, feeding their families, paying their bills? What are they doing differently? Have we created a standard based on status that has robbed us of the reality of saving? and honest labor and saving. Because really, like you said, I want to meet those people as well. I want to sit in their masterclass and hear how you're earning 50,000 naira, less than 100,000 naira in Lagos with the
Lagos of
transport.
today.
Yes,
Lagos of today.
it shocked me.
Wow.
And really, that these people have come to say, oh, yes, we just do it one. Someone came, okay, someone was having a conversation with me. Yeah, that same person was having that conversation with me. He said, how much did we spend on food this morning? He said, do you know how many blocks that would have been? That's how people who build think. They are thinking from the perspective of, if I'm eating this much, that means I've deprived myself of doing this much in my landed property. So let's talk about it. Let's look at the possibility of doing this thing. And if you're listening right now and you're a man, let's talk about your earning power. Let's talk about your buying power. Let's talk about how much you've been able to save. The numbers to call is 0805 092 0927 or 0705 890 4927. Can you save up to 70% of what you're earning right now? Is it possible with the bills you have to pay, with the things you need to do in Nigeria as it stands today? Can you save and build from the little that you're earning? The numbers to call 0802 502 7711. You could also send a WhatsApp message to 0705 690097. DJ Ryder is still here. We're about to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll be hearing more from Lagos and the people in the studio. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Dear man, can you save 70% of your salary, or are people just talking when they talk? Are there things that are asking and demanding your attention that will not let you save 70% of your salaries? The numbers to send your WhatsApp message to 0705 69000927. You could also call 0805 092 0927. You can alternatively also call the number 0802 502 7711. I've got with me in the studio DJ Ryder. I've got with me Femi. I've got with me Harrison, and we've been talking. Now, one of the things that blew our minds was the fact that we all have a mutual acquaintance who talked about the fact that he knows someone who earns 50,000 naira in Lagos and has built a house and is training his kids. This person is just doing the things that even he that earns a lot, it cannot be that 50,000 naira. Now, DJ Ryder hinted on a few things. He talked about the fact that multiple sources of income. That at some point he wasn't even touching his basic salary where he worked because he didn't even remember the salaries were back there. So, how is someone who earns 50,000 naira able to build a house in Lagos? Femi.
Okay, so we just like the Ryder said, multiple sources of income, and then again, that person who is earning 50,000 naira, if you find out very well, he might have some kind of investment he's doing.
From the 50,000 naira?
50,000 that is generating, much more income from him, for him on the side than the 50,000 naira.
Yeah.
So it's about identifying investment opportunities that are available to you, where your money can work for you. All right. So you have a salary that you're earning a salary somewhere, but then how do you channel that salary into investment whereby you're not there, but the money is working for you and you're getting returns on that investment? So basically, probably that's what the person was doing, and that's why he was able to achieve.
I'm sure that's what the person was doing.
He achieved that. And then also
transport fare,
spending habits. So if there's such a person that, is very...
Can you have a spending habit on 50,000 naira? If you say spending habit, that means you are lavishing on something.
Yeah. So what can...
Do you think, knowing that you have to go to work 24 out of 30 days in a month, what kind of spending habits do you want to have that you won't plan for tea fare and all the other logistics and feeding and everything?
Well, you don't know how far the person's workplace is to his house, first of all, whether it's just a strolling distance. If it's just a strolling distance, you don't know if lunch is provided at his workplace. It is our workplace. Free lunch.
How many places
so he doesn't have to buy food. So he doesn't have to buy food. Maybe just 1 meal per day. That's all he does. That's all he buys.
So that explains one person out of these people that we know that are building houses for 50,000.
There are several ways.
And then again, the location where the person lives or where he has built his house also. All right, so those are the factors.
Harrison has something to say.
I have, funny thing is, I have someone who's a carpenter who used to be my neighbor, right? The guy just lives just beside my house. I own a property, one of my properties in the suburbs, right? And I was shocked the day they told me that this guy was going to put a roof on his building. Jesus Christ. This is somebody that was living in the face me, I slap your house. You understand? So so one way I think about it, I know a friend of mine who bought a property. How did he buy this property? Although the guy is doing well, but it belongs to a group of thrift collectors. I think it's thrift. Ajo. So what they do, instead of saving the money and paying one person, what they do is that they make sure you save for the period of 1 year or 2 years, and then they go to buy a property together. So when they're buying it in bulk, it's always just like you were explaining the cow thing the last time.
Yeah.
Right? It's cheaper when they buy in bulk, one. And then, of course, because they see, and there's this thing about energy. Energy is contagious, right? Yeah. So once they see their peers building, it just motivates them to want to build also. So I think that's also one way, maybe that guy belongs to one thing or the other, and they can also help him to,
and of course, he could have also gotten the land in such a way that he could pay instrumentally. Right. So maybe over the period of 2-3 years, you know, so probably he was just paying maybe 20K every month and all that.
And managing whatever is left.
Managing whatever is left. So there are also but I don't want to go deep into all that. But there are investment opportunities.
The person I was talking to
actually
told
venture
me,
into.
and then I think our partners, because Ryder also mentioned this, understanding partners, which is something that we'll now talk about extensively next week. But this person I'm talking to said, okay, OSYB, do you know that every day I send my wife 1,000 naira to pay for a particular thrift that he does, that every day he pays 1,000 naira, and then at the end of the year, that ajo comes back as 300 and something thousand naira, and that he uses to do something. That regardless of what happens, every day he must pay, and that those sums are what he uses to do certain things at the end of the year. That he wouldn't even have to touch his Christmas bonuses and whatsoever. So he talked about the fact that it's the little savings here and there and giving forward that helps him to do so much. And that there was a land he bought a long time ago from this same 1,000 naira every day. So, but it's almost as if in the corporate space or where we exist, Harrison, would you be open to doing a 1,000 naira every other day?
I'm not exactly sure.
You would be open.
Actually, this thing is not one size fits all.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm
not sure
you would want to do that kind of
I'm not sure savings. I might want to do that because I have other things that I'm actually already investing in.
So it's just opening our eyes to the fact that there's some things that we ignore. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you ignored it, but there are some things that we just feel like this thing is not. It's not the kind of thing I should be doing, or it's not necessary.
Or the kind of thing I want to do.
But there are people who are doing those things and they're getting huge results. And talking about supportive spouse, his wife holds him accountable to that one.
Yeah.
And then he has a cousin who comes to him every week to collect 3,000 something naira that he also invests. So he says when he gets his salary, aside he drops the 1,000, he drops the 30k for the 1,000 naira per day, and then he drops the 3,600 naira or something for 4 weeks, which is about, when you put it all together, and that these are ways that he saves. And I think these are ways that, low and small income earners all around Nigeria, business people, the carpenter you spoke about, these are the things that they do based on information, because they starve themselves. For us, that 3,000 naira might be 1 meal.
3,000.
Yeah.
Might
be one.
That they've deprived themselves.
How much is your lunch?
Let's not talk about my lunch.
We've gone out for lunch several times.
It was the rider that paid.
It's not about not just once now. We've gone out to lunch several times.
No, but I'm talking about
you understand how much is your lunch?
This is a call out for all of us. Maybe we need to stop having lunch. maybe we need to start bringing bread from home. I just eat bread and water during lunch. What? Because let me tell you, because some of these things, it's funny, but these are things that, quote unquote, forgive my use of language, the small people, the people who shock us when they tell us they're going to roof their buildings, this is what they do. And the truth is, I have an uncle who is a bricklayer. Let me just say it. He's a bricklayer. He's not a construction engineer. He's a bricklayer. His sons went to school to study construction engineering and banking and everything. He raised them doing that. He built his house. Now, my cousin was telling me that their dad shared land for them a while back. This was someone that wasn't educated. But from all the, save 3K here, save 1K here, he bought a lot of land in Ogun State. And at some point, his sons are living in their own houses. In fact, they moved into their own houses when they got married, owing to the fact that their fathers gave them landed property, gave to him and his sisters. And and when you ask people like that, they'll tell you, it's our ajo. When you do the 80K, you collect, you buy 1 acre here. Of course, it was in the 90s and whatsoever. But that was what they did, and they kept buying into the future for their children. But why is it seemingly harder now? It seems like we're earning more and paying less attention and to creating a safety net for ourselves and our families. Or isn't that what it seems like?
Okay, so I think financial literacy is very important. And this is where this is what men need to know. As a man, you need to have a budget.
Yeah.
You need to have a financial plan, a financial goal, right? So if you have all those
of course,
things,
that's why it's a part of the conversation.
If you have all those things in place, it will be able to guide you. Excuse me. It will be able to guide you. All right. So you have it written down, and that's what I like talking about the Bible a lot. Even the Bible says that you should write the vision, make it plain.
So that those who see it may run with it.
So you also have to have a budget at the beginning of the year. just like every organization does also. What is our budget? What are we looking to, I mean, raise in terms of revenue? What are we looking to, I mean,
To do.
to expend,
Yeah, expenditure against-
expenditures and
yeah.
all that. All right, so if you have all that put in place, then at the end of the month or, I mean, quarter, at any point in time you set for yourself, you do a review. Have I been able to achieve what I set to achieve this month? So if you haven't, you know that you have to sit tight the following month or the following quarter or the following year, as the case may be. All right, so that's why, as big as that word sounds, budget, financial plans, there are people who are not as financially, I mean, like us, but are practicing it and they're getting the results.
We know the maths, we know the English,
we know it,
we know the practice.
but we're not practicing it.
Now the people we don't go to
Don't
school.
get attacked.
And they're getting it done.
I think we need to
Alright,
attack
so-
ourselves as men.
Yeah.
So, like, for example,
So this is an attack on you and your finances, my brother. If you're listening right now.
for example, you see these petty traders and all these guys, you ordinarily think that, oh, these guys aren't making much money.
Yeah.
But on a daily basis, do you know that they have targets of how much they're going to
Yes.
save?
Yes.
They are
Yes.
going to give to our job,
Yeah.
just like
Yes.
you said.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they work tirelessly to
Towards that target.
meet that target,
Yeah.
and they don't miss it. All right. So, and at the end of the month, at the end of the year, if they tell you what they have achieved and what they have used that money for, you'll be amazed. And that's why we could say that. See, most of them will tell you when they are even talking to them, they'll tell you, they'll boast and tell you that I'm living in my own
I've
house.
built my house.
Then you that you are,
You know, and bro,
you'll be looking at yourself like, oh, what?
this thing
what's
you're saying, though,
happening?
this thing that you're saying, I'll let Ryder talk. Ryder wanted to say something about.
Okay.
Okay, so
About,
let's talk. So this
it's-
multiple
you
source of
just
income.
Gonna be like, no matter how you earn, you should just try as much as possible that you should try and save something. Even if it's 1 naira, 2 naira, just try and save. And like
Exactly.
what Mr. Femi said, investment. No matter how low the investment was, try and do
Something.
investment because it helped me a lot. You understand? So
I don't want. And let me not. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. This is the multiple landlord. But you know, while I was in Ibadan, you know, I lived in Ibadan for quite some time, and there's this person that I used to buy meat from, and he has just a small kiosk in the market at Mobile bus stop in Ibadan. If you're very conversant with Ibadan, I lived in Ibadan. I used to buy meat from that, but I then run in Mobile. Now the thing is, we used to buy meat in bulk from him. You know, my daughter's naming ceremony was. I told him, oh, I wanted the cow or whatsoever. Oh, I wanted to buy this. He'd be like, why not buy this? You would say more like this. And he used to advise me a lot. Like, with these 2 laps, you can actually do a lot. Now, while we were having all these conversations, one day he said, Egbon, share tirale. He asked me, have you bought land? And you know, sometimes wisdom will come from the places you least expect. But he asked me, have you bought land? Because, of course, he knows that every month I would come there, buy some stuff in bulk, and he would tell me, oh, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes he would even give me extra. During the festivities, Ilea, he's a Muslim person, he would call me and send ram meat to my house, like, plus, this is your share. Thank you so much for patronizing us during the year. You know, and then he asked me that question, have you bought land? That he has this cooperative is a part of, and that this is what they do every week. They pay 30,000 naira every week. Regardless of how many weeks, that's 52 weeks in a year. Is it 52 or 54?
52, yeah.
52 weeks in a year. And so imagine you're paying 30,000 naira every week for 52 weeks. Instead, they do that. And then when the bulk comes, there are 2 options. It's either you are taking up the money, or they are paying it into land for you. And then they have developers. And, you know, some of the most interesting neighborhoods that were starting to catch a lot of influence in Ibadan, these people had land there. But he's going to wear that blood-stained shirt and everything every day with his knife and the meat in front of him. And he doesn't even speak proper English. He never speaks English to me. But then I met his daughter. Good English. She's a student in a university. She's the last child. She's studying mass communication because he was like, oh, I want her to, since I know you do this, I want you to mentor her. Now, so that's, I remember her name. Should I want to say her name? No, I don't want to say her name. But the thing is, this is something that he was doing. He was raising kids, selling meat. And he has built a house. He has land in multiple places. He's building other houses. He's a landlord. He's a serial landlord. And
Just
this
like
is just like
DJ
the DJ Ryder here. He's shaking his head. But then we don't they cast ourselves small. They don't cast me side to the chop lunch. This man don't cast me. So you two, we are casting you that you're a serial landlord. But then the idea is that these people were paying so much forward into their futures. And these are not people that we would want to go and listen to for wisdom. But then there's the wisdom in the way they live their lives. And I think it's something that we must now think of in our circles.
Yeah.
Let it not just be, because we have a lot of very, very lofty ideas that we discuss. But then, have we discussed our finances and how prudent we are?
Okay, so I'll still come back to the economics, right? In economics, there's something called scale of preference.
Okay.
All right. So, what in order of priority, what are the things you want to achieve? How important are they to you? You have to list them. All right, and so you begin to attack them one after the other. All right, so in the situation where you leave the most, and then you go and focus on the one that is least important. So, you're not following what you're supposed to follow. So have a scale of preference. Have what is important to you first. Okay, these are the major things. As a man, because this show is actually about men.
Yeah.
Shelter is important, right? Food is important. You have kids, education is important.
Yeah.
So many other things. So when you follow that list, so you actually attack or channel your income towards those things that are important to you. So for me, what is important for me might not be what is important for somebody else.
Yeah.
For somebody else, it might just be I get the money, I blow it. Another one will come. All right, for me, and that's why we see those people who we think that are not so educated because they've set their priorities right, and then that is what they have placed their minds on to do, and they've set targets and they're achieving it.
Yeah. I think okay, so Harrison.
So another thing I want to look at it from another angle.
Okay.
All right. There's this popular this cliche that goes thus that you are the sum of the first 5 people around you.
Okay.
Right. Or the average of the first 5 people around you.
Okay.
Yeah. So why am I saying this? You see, when you mentioned the Baba Eleron, right? You mentioned that he belonged to a group of guys whom will make him.
There are many,
a
lot of them.
Yeah. Remember when I started talking, I said, so one thing I discovered recently, right, is for anything I don't have discipline to pursue, I set up systems around it
To
make sure
to hold you accountable.
Exactly, to hold me accountable. And I discovered that immediately I set up systems, I find myself being accountable.
Yeah.
And there's a very tricky thing about the mind. Yeah. Whatever you focus on is what will multiply.
Yeah.
And with respect to this, I now discovered that anytime I do what this system asks me to do, and I put off those savings, I discovered that one way or the other, I still survive.
Yeah.
And if not just survive, according to one of my...
You thrive.
I thrive, right? I see myself still... So what happens is, according to Robert Kiyosaki, what happens is my financial quotient, right, spikes up, and I'm thinking of ideas that will make sure I survive or I thrive, despite the fact that I put away these funds. But if I had not put away these funds, I'll be, like you said, I'll be relying on these funds to survive. Right? But then I discovered that immediately I put it away, my financial quotient goes up, and I'm thinking, oh, what do I need to do? And before you know, I begin to work towards those things, and I see results. I think it even makes me become wealthier. Let me put it that way.
So it's safe to say that a culture of saving and prioritizing your future would spur you towards working for more ways to balance out.
Exactly.
Okay, so Ryder was going to say something.
Yeah. Another thing for me, I'm kind of a person that I don't eat outside. And how it got master me is because before I got married, I don't eat alone. If I want to eat, I always make sure that 1 or 2 people is always around me. And if you're eating at the end of the day, you'll be looking the bill like, So she always make sure I drink, even if it's tea. Because he knows that when I'm outside, I always want to eat and I'll
in
eat
groups and then you splurge.
You understand? So, and with that, I've eaten, Not that maybe it's easy for me, but it's because that one too is still part of me saving and keeping money somewhere. So, and that thing master me now. It's just now that I started to be like, okay,
let's just eat out once in a while.
Once in a while. So with that, it works for me as well.
Okay. So looking at all of this, saving,
Did the writer has taken us to another angle?
No, that's I think
Saving,
it's
not
basic.
eating out,
I think it's basic. Eating out, because really, I think if we
Even
do,
me alone, if I want to eat, I'll still be spending like 5,000.
Yeah, of
Just
course.
for
That's
me
that's like the,
Just for me, that I just want to manage.
That's
And
like the
once I'm
cheapest you
eating,
can
I'm
get.
home, I eat, and I'm going outside. I might not eat till
Till
maybe
you
you get back home.
Yeah,
So,
I practice
so
that
there's
too.
wisdom in
If-
breakfast is the
if-
most important meal of the day.
If we go that route, you won't be encouraging people who own restaurants. To make
The food
Everybody
business.
wants to be cooking.
but whether you like it or not everybody will be financially.
Not everybody will eat. The people who have made it in life can eat at your restaurant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those of us that are still looking onto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, can eat at home.
Can you-
But then let's say this, and financial literacy is necessary. Financial discipline is necessary. Supporting yourselves and building a community around it. Those are the things that I picked from everything that everybody has said here. Building a community around yourselves that holds you accountable to financial discipline is necessary, because you cannot have, as a man or even as a human being, we've limited it to men today, because we said dear men, and we heard of people who are earning 50,000 and are saving and building houses and owning multiple businesses. It's not in what they earn, it's in how big they are in their minds, expanding their minds to see to it that they are living beyond their means by doing things that caters to those things. But then their basic needs, they meet them through savings, through investments and the like. So yes, you must have an investment. You must have multiple sources of income. You must have an accountability network or system that helps you put things in place to make sure that you're doing the things you should do with your finances and not spend on the wrong things. Now, the world is a very interesting place. The world is improving. There are opportunities that you can get. You can be at your office in Victoria Island while you're working for one employer, and you can still remotely do something for another employer somewhere in the world. While not committing espionage. Let's put that there. But then, as much as possible, it is possible for you to save, no matter how little. Even if it's a 10%, start with a 10%. Save towards something.
Yeah.
Don't start
grow.
save and grow. Don't shoot for the sport cars and the essentials. If you've not started saving 5K per month,
Or you
don't
wait
start
before you
thinking.
end big.
Don't wait till you earn big, and then if you've not started saving 5K per month from the little or much that you're earning, don't start thinking you want to buy that sport car that Davido bought. I think you should start with looking at something that feeds into another thing. There's a culture of land banking. You can buy land somewhere at really very cheap, own it for a while, and resell to buy something else where it is expensive. But then you just need to start out and build towards financial freedom for yourself. But then, last words from the gentleman in the studio for today's episode of Dear Men. I'll start with Femi.
Okay, so I'll say that beyond savings, look into investments. All right, so don't just think about savings. You can actually save, and then with inflation right now, that's happening all around the world. Savings is not just enough, because if you say the value of your 1 million naira today
It's not what it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So right. So, but what you had bought with 1 million naira 2 years ago can actually be 2.5 million naira right now.
Yes.
All right. So beyond savings, also look into investments, the right investment, and make the smart choices.
Thank you very
Smart
much.
choices.
DJ Ryder, final words on today's
Final words,
conversation.
no matter how you earn, what you earn, try to save. Is very, very important. Even if it's just 1 naira, 2 naira, put it somewhere. At the end of the day, you get it in bulk.
It will amount to something. Okay, and then my dear friend Harry.
All right. So I love to look at it from the point of systems. Create systems around yourself. Make sure you look for like minds to work with. I want to believe that's the easiest way to make it to doing some of these things that are not naturally. That's not your nature, right? For me, saving was never my nature, and that's why I probably use systems, right?
Yeah.
All right, so just do that. And to buttress what Femi has said, very beautiful thing, look into investments. And one of the ways to actually look into the best kind of investment is to still be with the right support system. Just like the popular saying, if you're if you are the fifth person who is poor among 4 other billionaires, chances are you're going to be the 5th billionaire. But if you are the one wise person who is rich among 4 other poor people, chances are you're going to be the 5th poor person. So take that to the bank.
Thank you very much, and that's something you can take to the bank today. We've enjoyed doing this again on a Monday, talking saving, talking financial prudence, talking about financial discipline for men, and we're hoping it applies to the ladies as well. So please take what you can and do what you can. Thank you so much for listening to Dear Men today. Of course, we'll be reprising this again next week, Monday. The gentleman will be here, and we would have this conversation again, helping ourselves build character. We will be going on a quick break right now, but coming up at the top of the hour at exactly 12, it will be time for us to get into the news, of course, after which Papa Fuete and Sophia will be in the studio. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening to me from 6 a.m. I love you. Do have a great day.
Father bless me, Father bless me, Oluwa bless me, come my way. I wake up in the morning, put my hands in the air, to sing a song of praise to Jah. He watches over me night and day, my rock and my salvation. Me no care about the hustle, me no care about the pain. Jehovah my provider. The fire burn them when they want to fail.
Don't touch that dial, cause you're now rocking with the unstoppable DJ Ryder.
Take a look at them, holla. Giovanni